I want to talk about some of my experiences in graduate school, just a few, off and on, because it was a happy time for me. I was in some good plays, I was learning, I was surrounded by really good friends. The class that I was in, the class of people that were going after the MFAs, they were a great group of guys and girls. I had good teachers. It was a wonderful time. I want to talk about David. He was a friend. We were in two shows together at the U. And the young girl became kind of hysterical because the Me Too guy was such a flake. And I thought about going to the class. In fact, I did, to get her a partner because she had to have one. I don't know why I didn't think of her. Well, she'd already learned the scene, first of all, so it would have been unfair. And the character didn't have a monologue in it. So it would have been, I thought, unfair to make her go and look for a monologue. And I did ask the class, but all of the young men in the class had done a scene. And it was finals time, and nobody wanted to, I asked, nobody wanted to do another scene. They didn't have the time, and it wouldn't have been fair to try to make them. She was a little scared when I told her I'd gotten an actor from the department, until I told her it was David. She knew David because he was friends with her ex-boyfriend, and she had this very, very human response when I told her it was David. "Oh, he's cute." And I have to agree. I had kind of a huge crush on David at the time. Not that, well, I don't know if he knew, but I tried to keep that thing hidden at the time. But I had to agree with her. Like I said, I had a crush on David, and if he'd tried to unbutton his shirt for me, the outcome would have been very, very different, I do assure you. There was a young man in one of the classes that I taught and I think it was the same quarter that Me Too bitchy boy was there, that I was very attracted to. Something about him. He wasn't my type, but he was nice looking. He just had this masculinity about him that I just was really attracted to him. I didn't let him know that, I didn't think, and I certainly wouldn't have acted on it. I was so closeted that I didn't approach anybody that could remotely get back to my neighbor's cousin's, mailman's, mother-in-law's, father's, husband's, sister's, brother's, anybody, that might anyway point to me as being homosexual. But I was really attracted to him. He had a female scene partner. I don't remember what scene they did. They did well. I offered papers, that they could do papers if they wanted, the class. It wasn't something that Professor Moulton had done, but I was an actor, and so I said, okay, when I do my prep work for a show or a monologue, this is the things that I do, and they wrote papers about them. So anyway, I was really attracted to this guy. And he and the girl that were doing the scene together, they started a relationship. And because I was a young turd boy, I said something to them like, "So, you two have started dating, right? Do you want to discuss how working on the scene turned into real emotions and made you want to go out?" I was that young and naive and basically turdish and gay and gossipy, and I wanted to know, when did it start? How did it happen? Ooh. Of course, the entire class was embarrassed. They were embarrassed. And when everybody was embarrassed, I was embarrassed, which led to a very pregnant pause when nobody said anything, and then we quickly moved on to normal stuff. Anyway, so they both wrote papers that I asked for them because they were intelligent people. Her paper wasn't as good, I didn't think. And I was very nervous about this because I'd made this blunder in class, and I was attracted to him very much, and his paper I thought was better. And I worried. Was I being unfair? I was happy for them. I was happy that they had found each other. I wasn't, oh, I want him and you've got him and I'm going to make you pay. There was none of that. I thought her paper wasn't as good. So I took her paper to a female friend who had taught, I think she was an MFA named Laurel, talented actress, in the MFA class behind me, and said, okay, look at this paper. This is the grade I'm giving. And I don't remember what excuse I came up that I had to take this to her. I didn't say, well, I'm a fag and I'm attracted to her boyfriend, so I think she didn't do as well, and I don't want her to think that I'm angry at her for getting to be with him, and so can you tell me if I'm doing this right? I said something, and Laurel agreed with me. It was a bad paper, and she agreed with the grade I gave her, which was less than his. When I presented them their papers, they came and they got them at the same time together. She already had kind of figured out where I was in him, and she tried to get a better grade out of me, kind of not blackmail, but, a little pushing, you're not quite being fair to me because you feel this. And I stuck to my guns again, no, I don't think you did a good paper. And I didn't tell her I'd gone to Laurel, but I felt comfortable in it then. Anyway, so this is just a little tidbit of my time in graduate school.